Welcome to Unit 1, Lesson 2. In this lesson, we'll be talking about real versus nominal GDP. In this first section, we'll be discussing nominal GDP. So far, we've seen the various ways that GDP can be calculated, but what does the measurement of GDP actually tell us? What do we use it for? The most important use of GDP is as a measurement of the size of the economy. There are several uses for this measurement. We can compare our growth from year to year to make sure that we're growing steadily. We can also use GDP to compare our growth to other countries. This way, we can see what other countries are doing to create growth and adopt similar strategies, or we can avoid what they are doing, whatever's causing them to slow down their growth. We can also use GDP to tell us whether or not a new economic policy is working in the U.S. If we enact a new economic policy, we can check growth next year to see if the policy has had the effect that we wanted. Now that we know the uses of GDP, let's look at what nominal GDP is. So, what is nominal GDP? Nominal GDP is when we assess the value of all new final goods and services produced in an economy using the current market prices of the good. So, we take the number of goods and services produced, and we multiply them by what they currently cost. Let's look at an example of calculating nominal GDP. In the first column, we have the names of the goods produced in our very peculiar economy. The second column is the number of each good that is produced. And the third column lists the prices that each good was sold for in the year 2019. To calculate nominal GDP, simply multiply the number of goods by their current prices. For toy cars, the total is 200. Roast chickens is also 200. And ugly sweaters brought in $250. Adding it all together gives us a nominal GDP of $650. And that's all it takes. Let's compare last year's nominal GDP with this year's GDP to see how we did as an economy. On this chart, we have the 2020 output and prices. I've already added in the totals for the new year. In 2019, we have a nominal GDP of $650. And in 2020, we had a nominal GDP of $850. According to this information, our economy has grown. Hooray! Let's find the percent change from 2019 to 2020. This is something you'll often be asked to do with these types of questions. Percent change is found with the following equation: new minus old divided by old times 100 to get a percentage. So let's take our numbers, 850 minus 650 divided by 650 and times 100 to get a percentage of 31. Wow! But wait, hold the celebration. Did our economy really grow by 31%? Let's look at the number of units produced again. If you look at the number of units produced from 2019 to 2020, you can see that we didn't actually produce any more units than we did before. So what happened? Well, the price of toy cars doubled from 2019 to 2020. This isn't a change in productivity. This is just inflation. So, how can we get a real measurement of change? For that, we need to calculate real GDP, which is GDP that has been adjusted for the changes in prices over time. But that has to wait for the next episode of Economics with Miss Preston. I'll see you soon.